Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to this week's Unity of Burning. For those of you online, we welcome you so much. We know you are not and therefore cannot be here with us, but this is, as Reverend Jay would say, this is the house that love built. And we would love to have you if and when you can come be with us. Those in Singapore, take a long trip and come see us. Anyway, this is our first service where we are going to, and I'm the worship assistant. My name, as it says here, David Coleman. David Rosenblad is providing not only our music today, but also our lesson. And we're very pleased. Has anyone not been here before? Would you please stand and tell us who you are, at the risk of embarrassing?
My name is Tom Carpenter.
Tom?
No, this is the first time.
Okay.
Well, good.
I'm a converted Baptist. I'm sitting on the back row.
Very good, very good. Beside your bulletin, of course, there's a prayer request form. And please fill it out if you have something that you want to have given in prayer by the congregation. And the prayer box will go by later in the service, and our prayer team prays over it for a week, and it is then sent to Silent Unity, where it's prayed for the month. And I want to say a word or two about David. He's a San Marcos, formerly Austin. Just sit there and listen. Austin-based singer-songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist. It says so right here. I'm reading this. An award-winning sound designer and composer for TV and film. He owns the company DRM, Surreal Sound, and Studio 13th Moon, as well as Lotus Rose Healing Arts Center. His music, including singles and albums, is available on all music platforms worldwide. He is a longtime touring Unity musician, writing and playing spiritually inspired songs, and is also presently studying to become a licensed Unity teacher. Thank you, David, for being here this week and helping out with us as Jay is off. So, and now for our brief announcements. We have the May-June daily words. If you don't have one, please take one. And as always, we're collecting dry goods, toiletries, to pass on to various burning groups to help those in need. We also have a special need on the white container on the outside, and I think there's some flyers in the back where Bertie Shocker is collecting needed items for people that are homeless, anything from toothbrushes to sunscreen to unmentionables. We also have things happening outside of church. We have the Edgar Casey Group second and fourth Friday of each month that Ann King puts on. And trust me, if you want to know anything about Edgar Casey, this is the place to come. Our men's brunch is the first Saturday of the month from 10 to 11:30, and we need more folks. We've had 3 or 4. We eat breakfast tacos and talk about all wonderful things. We also have a Sunday morning book discussion, 9:30 to 10:30, and currently it's What the Mystics Know: 7 Pathways to Our Deeper Self by Richard Rohr. My goodness, what a good book! So come see us. And so I think we also have online events happening throughout the week. It's in your order of service and online at unityofburning.org. Bear with me. There's too many sheets of paper for this one. I think that's it. So we will start the service by standing and singing our celebration song. Love is the answer.
And it is the answer. This really fits the theme today. So I think you guys all know this one.
the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Peace. Let's do joy. Joy, joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Let's do love again. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Nice harmony, y'all.
Now for the daily word. And the daily word.
Yes, please be seated.
Please be seated.
Who's supposed to say that?
Sit down. And Parton will be delivering the daily word.
Thank you. As we quietly and gently prepare for the reading of the daily word, we remember that we are in spirit with millions of daily word readers and churches around the world. The Christ candle is lit as a reminder of the Spirit of God within all of us, which we call the Christ within. The word today is guidance. The affirmation, with an open heart and mind, I heed divine guidance. If I am feeling lost or do not know which way to turn, I take comfort in knowing I can pray and bring my awareness to my connection with God. Wherever I am on my spiritual journey, I receive divine guidance continually, and it is up to me to heed it. Divine guidance does me little good if I doubt it or feel hesitant to act upon it. I commit to remaining open and receptive as I receive my guidance. Even if the call of my heart surprises me, even if I doubt I can do what I am being called to do, I trust the still small voice within. I affirm I am divinely guided and faith-filled. The scripture today is from Isaiah 58, verse 11. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places, and make your bones strong, and you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters never fail. Again, the affirmation, if you feel free to say it with me, with an open heart and mind, I heed divine guidance. Thank you for worshiping today at Unity of Boerne.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. Now please stand for our call to faith. And we say it together. I radiate joy and happiness right now. I vibrate the good, the powerful, the wonderful energy which I embody right now. My inner world is remade, and I am at home there. I am blessed, and am a blessing to everyone I meet. And so it is. And now please remain standing for our joy song, Peace Like a River.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in
you sit down together.
Burning is a vibrant, loving, spiritual community, providing a sacred space for personal growth. We honor and celebrate the Christ within all people.
Thank you, and be seated. And we will now have the blessing of prayer request. And could I please have the prayer box? If anyone has a prayer request and you're in the midst of writing it or it's written, please put it as Sherry comes down with the box. And as I said, we have our own prayer team that prays over the request. Jay does his magical thing with them as well, and then we send it on to Unity prayer team.
David, Jay wanted me to give you a message.
Yeah, he gave me a message. I was about to say it as I blessed the box.
You're both David.
Yeah.
Did Jay give you a message?
Yes.
About
I've got
Joe?
one. Yeah. Helen Dominguez had texted Jay
Yeah.
and said that Joe is doing well.
Yeah. That he
And
got
so I
a
was-
call from Helen, and
Yeah.
that she said he was doing well.
Joe Dominguez is doing well. If you want to bring that up here, as I'm not.
Absolutely. There you go. I can hold it if you like.
No, that's
You're
fine.
doing good.
So that was good news to hear. Yeah, he just texted me that. So everybody just close their eyes. We're just divine, infinite, loving presence, which is everywhere within us, around us, and source of all life. We align our spirits with yours, Father, Mother, God, divine presence. And we align our spirits with each other as we bless the contents of this prayer box, its concerns, its celebrations, and we have love and gratitude that we know that with us, we all know what it is, and we bless it with the power that is within all of us and you, which is love. And so it is. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to put this?
Right behind you.
Just right behind you.
Back here?
Yeah.
I can do that.
All right. It's good to be back. Is it my turn?
Yes.
It's been a while. Hmm?
Special music.
Actually, we're not doing the special music yet. Does it say, what does that say up there?
Yeah, let's go on to the next slide.
Let's go to the next slide. I changed the special music this morning. I woke up out of a dream and said, I need to do this other song, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I wasn't going to do the special music at the beginning anyway, necessarily, because I am doing the talk, and I can do the music whenever I want. Well, mainly because I come from music. I'm, as you all know, some of you know me. What's your name in the back? I'm sorry. Tom. Yes. Thank you for being here. You know me as a musician, and that is where most of my resonance comes from. And so I wanted to do a song near the beginning, and most of my messages that I'm now writing originate from songs. Because I was told by people in the past saying, you know, your songs are like mini M-I-N-I lessons. I said, okay, well, I started doing speaking a couple of years ago, and then at the urging of some people in the ministerial programs in Texas, where I have gone, including here, urged me to go ahead and go into the program for licensed unity teaching. So that's what I'm doing. And so I'll be actually legally doing this in a year or so. Not that it's illegal, I'm just saying.
I'll be credentialed.
Anyway, I'm so happy to be here, and now that I'm doing double duty, trying to juggle a few balls here, but that's okay. I've written a suite of songs, 4 of them, while we're talking about songs. I'm not playing them, but I will in a minute, on the essence of higher love. And I call it what I've called in the past a love quadrilogy. It's not really a word, I know, but I'm going to make it a word. Trilogy. It's a suite of 4 songs. And I've played some of them here, and I'm about to do another one. I was thinking about doing one called Love is for Everyone and Forgets No One, decided when I woke up this morning after what I went through yesterday, I said, I'm going to do another one that's related to it. It's called Rise Up Through Love. But I wanted to mention, what's up there right now? Does that say?
Awakening the what?
Okay, because that didn't change over here, so I'm just saying, I can't look over there. The title of my talk, as you might can see, and I love the fact that y'all chose seascape as sort of a background there, because I hail from the ocean, and I go down there as much as I can. Awakened or what? Speaking truth to power, with quotation marks around it, with the real power, love, and also understanding as well. And those three powers, love, power of power, and understanding, is really what I'm talking about today. The subtitle of this, though, is Social Justice in the Blossoming New Thought Environment. And so, there's just a little note. When you talk about social justice within spiritual realms, it can be a little touchy, I think, at times, which is really why I'm doing it. Because I think the reason of speaking truth to what we call artificial power, which really isn't power, the power is love that's within us, the divine mind, the divine consciousness. Instead of approaching everything with vitriol versus vitriol, negativity versus negativity, and conversely, ignorance versus knowledge, there is some aspects of Buddhist theology that deals with ignorance, imposing it against knowledge and enlightenment through that. But I think we can approach things with love and understanding, even if we don't agree with everybody we're around. It's just ways of dealing with our lives. And I think we're constantly faced these days with a lot of negative energy. I don't know, am I the only one who sees that? I don't think so. It seems to be, and I think just a way of rising up to that is a really beautiful way of changing the vibration. And the reason I do this, the music, and the reason I'm speaking now, is to raise the vibration of those around me, and consequently, hopefully, myself as a result of that. Now, the song I chose is one of a suite of songs that deals with either the higher love, unconditional love, self-love, love moving beyond fear, and that's what it is. I decided to do one called Rise Up Through Love, and I think I played this for you guys once, but no matter, things always change and they evolve. So we will do this song now. And it does deal with a little bit of social justice, because anytime I do a song that could even be remotely construed as folk songs, there's license for doing socially active. Thank you, Bob Dylan, for that. It's been quite a week. Every day seemed to reach a peak. Some darker and dangerous days, with chaos trailing in the maze. Overcome the overwhelm, I'll leave the baggage of fear behind, standing up for the truth at the helm that only comes from divine mind. Rise up from love, hands off, those are our sisters and brothers too. Stand up for the truth in our hearts. Rise up, stand up, rise up through love. It's been quite a month. How much more chaos can I handle? It's taken a lot of forgiveness and love. I've done the right thing and lit the candle. Overcome that overwhelm and leave that baggage of fear behind. Standing up for the truth at the helm that only comes from divine mind.
It's been quite a year, too many crazy stories I hear. I turn the cycle of samsara around. Love is the power to which I'll be bound. Rise up from love, hands off. Forgiveness is needed with forgiveness and peace. Stand up for the truth in our hearts. Rise up, stand up, rise up through love. Rise up, rise up to new life. It's been quite a lifetime, moving beyond the space and time. It's the power of love that turns the earth. Rise up. Yeah. I'm out of breath now a little bit. I did this song yesterday for, I do this same, what I think is beautiful. We're talking about the blossoming new thought environment, which is what I'm kind of talking about today. I did this song yesterday twice at two different events in San Marcos that had nothing to do with the Unity Church or a Science of Mind spiritual center or anything else. And I think it's beautiful. I was playing, yesterday was called the Make Music Alliance Day, and it's a worldwide movement. It started, I think, in France years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But San Marcos has an organization called Listen San Marcos. And I was asked to play at two different events, one at an art gallery and the other one at the San Marcos Activity Center. And the art gallery was great because, well, for one reason, I was able to cool off. It was, warm yesterday. I also, Kirsten and I, my spouse, we exhibit at the San Marcos Farmers Market sometimes. Do healing stuff, we sell herbs and things. But it was, I got to take a break and go over to the air conditioning and play a set. I also played the San Marcos Farmers Market quite a bit at concerts, but it's also quite hot. But yesterday, I was playing at the Activity Center, and there was groups of people coming in for events, doing exercises, and watching some music. It was a little bit chaotic, but I also had a group of people that just sat and watched some of it when I was playing. And one of them happened to be the band that was following me after I played, a five-piece band called O Malarkey, which is an Irish Celtic band, really good. And they sat and watched, and after I did that last song, they just really cheered like crazy. It's like, great, I love that. So, the message reaches people in general is my whole point. I'm getting really off track from my talk, but it's okay. We all can shoot from the hip, so to speak. I had a couple of other talks I thought about doing today, but one was on self-love. Do you love yourself? The other one was on forgiveness and wholeness. And I hope to do that sometime with you all, if you have me back to do this, that is. But I thought this one was current because it just seemed to be speaking to me. As we awaken consciousness, I don't know if you guys, I can kind of tell there seems to be a movement growing. As they're seeing, I've noticed, it's a vibrational thing, but also you hear in the news, church attendance is down, things of that nature, traditional, in a lot of traditional churches. I know Tom could maybe attest to that. I'm pointing you out twice in this talk, I'm sorry about that. There's somebody new. Anyway, and I think it sort of poses a question, are we more comfortable? Are we more challenged? Are we more enlightened by feeling the presence of an omnipresent God that is, that it speaks of love in our lives and is all inclusive? Or
and this internal as well as external? Or do we want to experience an external God that punishes? I don't know. The answer is easy for me. And so, if I were to choose one, and so I think as we move beyond the fear, I think this is, I think the movement is, the New Thought movement is glowing and growing. It's one word I use for it. And I think I was noting at being a student, and I've said that before, I'll probably say it again, I attended a Zoom conference. It was a Unity conference about 3 weeks ago or so. It was actually about the time I was starting to write this talk, so it might have been 3 or 4 weeks. And one of the people, and it was mostly for teachers and students, but there was a lot of other people. In fact, I talked to Reverend Sandra, who said, "Oh, I was on that conference." There's hundreds of people, so you couldn't really see who was all there, unless they, perched up, unless they raised their hand and asked a question. But the point I was making is, there's a increase in enrollment and for people in the ministerial and the licensed Unity teacher program since January, ironically. But this year, this calendar year, it's really ticked up. And I thought, wow, I wasn't just like, am I riding a wave or is it what? I think that all that says for me, more people taking classes, exploring. Some people that are enrolled in Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, I really can't say it anymore, are doing it just for self-learning, but a lot of them are doing it for the program. They become, like me, a licensed Unity teacher, or go beyond that and become a minister. So, that's I thought it was a really good thing. And I think it poses questions as we get out in the world and we experience dialogue with other people. In general, I'm out playing music for people. I'm playing, as I said, a lot of the same music I play here, I'm playing in wine bars, coffee houses, concerts, art galleries, farmers markets, stuff like that. So it's just trying to raise the vibration through whatever way we can. And I always ask these 3 questions, and you guys may have heard these before when you're encountering something in your life or you're trying to make a decision. Is it loving? Is it peace-filled? Is it for the highest good of all? Sometimes you got to ask again if the answer is not clear, or make another decision. And I think, is it loving speaks to the real power, the love that we are. And I don't believe any of us can talk about the love that we are without speaking somewhat about self-love. It allows us to love others. I love this quote from this Reverend Frank Giannucci. I can't say his name without getting an Italian accent, but he was known many years ago as the voice of unity. I think because he released so many, back in those days, audio cassettes. There was just tons of stuff that came out with his voice on it. I love this quote from him, though. It says, "All problems, challenges, or whatever we may choose to call them, stem from this one basic problem: the inability to love ourselves totally and unconditionally." Let that sink in for a minute. I think it just really speaks highly of self-love. When we learn to love ourselves, we love others better. And that really is, self-love is the proverbial golden rule, as in the Bible, really. And as we're more accepting, it becomes more accepting of our inner divinity, Christ consciousness, divine mind within all of us. I think that's where our origins come from. I think it's very important to be rising up against negativity and chaos. And I'm not talking about screaming. I'm talking about rising up against negative dialogue, divisive dialogue. We get a lot of diversions, a lot of things coming at us, trying to take our eye off the ball, so to speak. And I don't know if any of y'all know this, I love baseball. I know Jay loves football. I'm a baseball freak, and I always have been. And so that anytime I can use a baseball analogy, I will. But taking your eye off the ball, you just got to stay focused on that ball. Or else you take your eye off the ball, somebody can pull your cap down, or pull the wool over your eyes. I think that ball is our own consciousness rising up, being and staying awakened. And I like to use the real word awakened. I'm not real crazy about acronyms like WOA and stuff like that. So, anyway. Right? Anyway, I'm no expert on this, but as you know, I'm a student, albeit a very old student chronologically. But having been in the Unity world for quite a while playing music, for a number of years, I found the daily word. Well, let me go back a little history. I was raised initially Methodist, more or less, at first. It didn't do a lot for me. I was just sort of like, okay, there it is. It's good. Yeah, I believe in God, blah, 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 all that. But I was exposed to Casey readings when I was an adolescent, probably 11 or 12 years old. And that really brought a lot of depth, even though it was kind of hard to understand, especially as a child. But I used to go to the ARE youth groups. I even went to an ARE youth camp as a teenager in the Appalachians with Charles Thomas Casey leading meditation. It was pretty cool. A couple of years after that, somebody gave me a daily word, and I read Divine Order. Yeah, check. Let go, let God. I get it. That definitely flipped a switch. And it kind of stayed with me for years, no matter what else I was doing and producing, going through my studio life, my work life, as a producer and playing music that had nothing to do with spiritual stuff. It started to change, though, after that. As far as me starting to bring some aspects of spiritual influence into my music. And you really can't if you are grounding yourself with love and peace, you really can't help but bring some of it into the music. And I want to go back to that, I mentioned the Zoom conference I was at. Being socially active, as I am in the world, there is a core class now that's starting for people in the program, ministers and LDTs, that deals with, guess what? Diversity, equality, and inclusion within the Unity curriculum and outside of it. A lot of infinite love and gratitude for that one. And guess who's taking the class starting next week? Me. So I'm enrolled in it starting. I guess I have to start a new class next week, but then the following week I'm back. I'm in my third semester now. Yay. So, and I would like to give, just speaking of posing traditional theology with unity and new thought. I don't know how many of you know this, but I've found it fairly recently that Science of Mind, now known as Center for Spiritual Living, is now, all their archives are housed under the Unity umbrella now, which is really, makes sense to me. You know, that's why I'm thinking this new thought vibe is definitely growing and glowing with light. I wanted to read, I skipped something I was going to read you guys a moment ago, and I've already lost it. No silence here. We'll roll on, it's okay. It was about awakening. It was a daily word that I found that just happened to come across my desk. But I'd like to give a shout out to, there is vibrational changing in all, I think, forms of religion now going on. If you look for it, I think, for example, the new Pope has got some good vibes going now. I think there's I see possibility of a loving attitude. It's continuing from the previous one too, to some degree, but I see that possibly growing more. And as far as regarding social justice within Unity's always been really strong in that, on things such as race relations, women's rights, LGBTQ rights. And as we all know, Myrtle Fillmore was one of the first feminists. And I don't know how many of you knew that, but Charles Fillmore also resisted war and preached in social responsibility. Have any of you all gone to truthunity.net and done any research website? I'm seeing a couple of nodding heads out there. It is a wealth of knowledge, and me having to study a lot, I'm always looking for things, researching. And Mark Hicks, who's the caretaker and the curator, editor of that whole page, that whole website, it's massive. He suggested for those who are moved to be social activists in this world now is to be a student of truth for the long haul. Because the long haul, you're going to see a lot of waves of changes of things in world events and stuff. If you're just if you're just a student of truth for the long haul, it definitely helps ground you. And again, you ask, is it loving? Is it peace-filled? Is it for the highest good of all? And obviously we shouldn't forget about we just passed Juneteenth a couple of days ago. Martin Luther King Jr. His teachings were always grounded in love, a fellow man, and I think self-love too, and peace as well. I said I was going to touch on 3 of the 12 powers of unity. Well, we've talked about love nonstop for a while here. Another one is the power of power. It gives you power, speaking truth to power that's not so real power. And I think the other one, for people that are trying to be socially conscious, trying to be good for all humanity, understanding is a big one, I believe. I believe we are at a tipping point here, and I think it's just kind of up to us. Are we going to keep tipping forward into more chaos, or more violence, more divisiveness, or are we going to take a step back, or even a step forward, and take a breath, take a sacred pause, and realize the love that we are, and using understanding to bridge the power that we can bridge to others through that love we are, with a peaceful intent. Instead of us against them, love against fear, peace against war, we can open our hearts and minds, tuning into the Christ consciousness within, and giving us that, to overcome that overwhelming negative energy that comes at us. Now, I may sing a little bit about that within the meditation, as far as overcoming that negative energy. Now, I always look for serendipities, and everything that comes my way. I ran across the Daily Word. I even wrote a song about serendipity. Some of you may know, called Awakening Through Serendipity. I thought about doing that today, but I had a request to do that maybe the next time I'm here as a song. But radiance, shining our light, which in its own way is a form of social activism, I believe. The love of God grows as I share my radiance with the world. It is such a gift to witness how beautiful a person is when they're doing what they love. To watch the light of understanding dawn when someone grasps a new and exciting concept. To bask in the glow of love in action. As I claim the fullness of my divine identity, I too will glow with the radiant light of God. I will spread that light, sharing my divine illumination by learning and growing and doing what I love, and sharing what I love generously. Now, in my case, it's obviously music is what I love to bring, and music and words to people. Regarding that love and fear aspect, we all know that what would we rather do? Is it okay not to love? You kind of ask yourself, is it okay not to love, to banish the marginalized, to shun the needy? We think not. To rebuke all who don't agree with everything we think is right? No. I don't think so. I love the fact that Dave was mentioning here at the beginning, how you guys are doing collections for homeless, and Birdie's doing those. I think it's wonderful. I used to be, when I wasn't doing so much Unity touring, a number of years ago, I used to play guitar for a group in South Austin that was Methodist-based. But they ran a kitchen down below in the basement of their church, where they served lunches to homeless. They were open for breakfast for a lot of people. And as any of you all know, you may or not know, South Austin has traditionally had quite a bit of homeless street people. So I thought it was really beautiful. And they called it expressing grace. And I thought that was a really nice way of putting it. And just as grace, this is from Daily Word, just as grace is a gift of God that I receive with gratitude, it is also the gift I give again and again. I share my grace each time I listen instead of speaking, forgive instead of condemn, and give instead of take. Grace is how I bring God's love to life. Understanding. Understanding is a 12th power. Unity says, in this description of understanding as one of the powers, the ability to know, to perceive, and to apprehend. That would be gathering knowledge. My understanding of truth deepens and directs my life. The disciple, symbolically for understanding, is Thomas. He represents the ability to see beyond appearances, to into reality. And the corresponding color is gold. The location is the front of the brain, which would be the 6th or 7th chakra, depending on what modality you may follow in that, if you do. The third eye. The energy of understanding, coupled with the power of love, can take us a long way. Now, it would not be, I'm going to go off topic just for a moment before I wrap here. It would not be a talk that I do without quoting the Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching. I just love reading that sometimes for inspiration. Sometimes it's just funny. Now, Dr. Wayne Dyer did a really nice interpretation of some of the verses from this ancient text, which is over 2,500 years old. And this is about leading. This is from verse 17. The greatest leader above them, with the greatest leader above them, people barely know one exists. Next come one whom they love and praise. Next down comes one whom they fear. Next down comes one whom they despise and defy. When a leader trusts no one trusts him or her. The great leader speaks little. They never speak carelessly. They work without self-interest and leave no trace. When all is finished, the people say, "We did it ourselves." How's that for empowerment? In closing, I'd like to say, I believe one should stand up, like I sang in that song, for truth, for justice against injustice, to promote love over fear. That's a real big one. Keeping in mind that we approach our social activism from a basis of love, respect, and understanding, and truth, I believe it will make a much smoother way of raising the vibration for us and those around us. And what's better than one of my goals is to make the world a more sane, living, loving, and better place for all, for us, ourselves, and those we love. Thank you for listening and being receptive. Namaste. Thank you. I'm not done because I've got to go back here and we're going to do some meditation. As you know, I have to jump around a lot here, so.
Not yet.
Not yet. You have surely the presence of. In the midst of his children, the Lord said he would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3, and I feel that same sweet spirit I felt oft times before. Surely I can say I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. get comfortable in your seat. And just sitting up straight if you can. Feet on the floor, hands comfortably in your lap. And just start taking a few deep breaths. Just focus on that breath. Just overcome the overwhelm. And your things will start shifting into focus as we align with divine mind. If you like, just focus on the breath. Or if you have a mantra or an affirmation, like I am that, I am, God is, I am. Just focus on that. If stray thoughts come floating by, just bless them and send them on their way in the light. Be clear in the presence of divine mind. As you focus on the breath or the affirmations, realize the realms of things in your consciousness that you can be the love you are, the presence, whether it be in healing, wholeness, prosperity, abundance, clear, beautiful communication, whatever comes. Realize all the beautiful possibilities that are you as we enter into the silence. As you continue to focus on your breath, slowly come back into this space, into this room we're in. Becoming aware of the air around you, the smells, the sounds. Whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. How's everybody doing?
Thank you, David. That was fantastic.
I appreciate it.
Now, of course, is the time when we are offered to give back everything that we get from this life and to help our church. And for those of you who are listening in, it is an opportunity to help. So there is a PayPal button, not on the Facebook page, but at unityofboerne.org. And so if you feel led to do that, please press that button and give your best gift. And I asked this young man, Mark, to do ours.
Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. My love for me, this is all that I am, all that I give and receive.
We have it. There. Thank you very much. And now we say our blessing for the tithes and offerings.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I send it forth with my blessings and my love.
Thank you very much. As we go with Love Can Build a Bridge.
How can build a bridge between your hearts and mine? Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think we'll shine?
Now let's all stand and form our lovely circle.
The love
is well. Namaste.
And
No mistakes.
if you did not sign up with them, join us for lunch at where? Belliston.
Well, what did you think of that? With our guest speaker today, David Rosenblad, it just was over the top for some of us here. And of course, David is always really on top of it with the music. Would you like to come and experience this presently in the present? It's open to you whenever you're ready for it. You're invited. We'll be happy to see you when you come. Until then, know that there's family here, and you can be a part of that. Know that we're going to go from here. We're going to have some food together and go out on our week and just enjoy who we are. Thank you so very much. From all of us here at Unity of Boerne, have a most fulfilling week. We'll see you at the next time. In the little church, the Loveville. Bye for now.
I love reading them. I never know what you pronounce.
Those are usually the best ones.
I love your because you understand the message. Oh yeah.
David, that was